Hey Barbara, Courtney here. I am at Bernina University right now, and look what I have all of myself right now. It's the B990. I have the B990 sitting right in front of me. How wild is this? So I thought you guys might enjoy seeing some of my favorite features and some things that I think are pretty cool on this machine. So let's jump into it.
That's right. The Bernina B990, she is here. She is beautiful. She is a large machine because she's got a lot going on. So some of the huge takeaways that came for me is actually how large the hoop is on this machine. So if you click into the machine, you can actually go to embroidery, and she has a 16.1 by 12 hoop. That is a large, amazing hoop. So if I was to go into one of the pockets right here and select a huge design, they actually have a design that is made to stitch for the back of a chair cover. So I could even go to that design and be able to stitch out this huge, large design. Now the edit key is actually a little bitty pencil instead of the I now. And if you notice, they actually added words to the icons. So that way there's no more guessing of what is this icon. It will tell you right on the screen. Another amazing thing is that we actually have touch gestures, which allow you to use bounding boxes to change your design. So not only can you have keys that you can actually do it with if you want to do it that way, but we can touch the screen to be able to rotate. So it really is like having a giant tablet right on your machine. Still have all of the editing functions that you had before. They're just giving you a different option to be able to rotate, resize, and all of that. Now, while we're in embroidery, I want to show you something amazing. There is a new lettering technique. So now you have all these letters and you can type them in however you want. So I'm going to type in my name, of course, because that's what we all type in when we're looking at a machine. And you can actually audition the different fonts. You can actually scroll like this and look at these different fonts and see what your design is going to look like. Now, another feature that they have is even if I say, okay, I want this design and go ahead to go stitch it out, I could change my mind, come back and say, oh, you know what? I want to put a different word. I want to put a different font. And I don't have to start right over. It's going to bring me right back to the editing screen we just saw to be able to change it out. Or even add to it. So say I wanted to add a different word. I want to add all brands to the end of that because of course I do. So I could add that on there and then say, okay, and now it's right back on there for me. So you don't have to automatically start over. I misspell a word, I do anything, not that I ever misspell a word, but you know, if I ever were to misspell a word, I can now change it. And you have all these cool, amazing features. Now, something I completely forgot to record is that you can actually name your saved designs. So the designs that you save, you can name them whatever you want, whatever under the sun. That way it's easier for you to be able to find them. Now let's talk about another feature. They now have an integrated BISR. Now, why is that amazing? Because now you can use any of your free motion feet, couching, ruler work, anything like that, you're able to use now on the machine. It does not have to be a specialized BISR foot. Now, they do give you one like we're used to, but it is integrated. Now, this is really neat. So if you actually open the front bobbin loader, that black device right there, that is actually the BISR built into the machine. So they have different plates that go on your, so needle plates that go on your machine, and the one that you would use for the BISR is actually have a hole in it. That way the machine can read it and there's nothing stopping it. So that hole is actually like a little opening that it can read through. And look how amazingly even these stitches are. And we were just playing around, just having a good time, just trying out the machine, and look how well it did it. They are perfectly even. And there was nothing special we had to do because it's all integrated now. Now I'm going to jump over to sewing because there are of course tons of designs built in the machine. You can of course heart the ones that you love the best. That way they're easier to find because they do have a pocket system with so many built in. But what I want to show you is a new feature called Jumbo Stitch. Jumbo Stitch will allow you to take any of the designs that you want and actually be able to change their sizes. So if I wanted to up the size of this, it's going to resize like breathing all together. You can resize up to 500%. Now you can lock the Jumbo Stitch. So say you only wanted to enlarge the width and not the length, or vice versa, to really fit it in there. So think if we have a quilt and we have borders that we have and we want to fill them in with something beautiful and decorative, we can actually do that and put it precisely how big we want it. Because you do have a camera on this machine, so you can actually select the camera feature to be able to see and kind of audition it before you actually stitch it out. So that way you can put this jumbo stitch on an endless amount of amazing projects. Honestly, I was even thinking they let you duplicate it, and you can tell it how many times you want it to repeat and duplicate over and over again. So if I had a long table runner, I could put this design all the way down the table runner, down the leg of a pants. It's really sky's the limit. And again, you do have a camera built in, so you can audition that design. Now, if you notice, my design is actually bigger than the camera field because I've made it so large, but you will see where it would start. So if I had my fabric in there, I'd be able to see exactly where my fabric would be laying on there. Now, you can, of course, zoom in on your camera, so if you do want it to be taking up more of your screen for a better view, you absolutely can. The camera is super detailed. I mean, look, you can see my finger under there, but if I did lay a piece of fabric under, you can see it very, very clearly. I love how clear it is and how exact it is. So I can see exactly where my needle is going to go, so I can position my fabric however best I feel like it needs to be on there. So I can really get in there if I'm stitching in a ditch or anything like that. I can see exactly where I need to go. And crazy enough, you can actually even zoom in. So if I hit the little eyeball right there, I could zoom in to really get an up-close view if I wanted to. Now, you don't have to sew with the camera, but that is always a great feature to be able to see what in the world we're doing and where we're doing it at. Now, right here, I was stitching out a few of the different designs. Now, this particular design, I had the different parts that repeat be different sizes. So each section was a different size. So it went from small, medium, then large, and then back down. So that was really neat. And we were just testing out different ones. I mean, it is so amazing how it stitches. Now, this stitch I'm currently doing is called a sideways motion. There's 272 built in, but you can also make your own like I did in the jumbo stitch function. And it actually stitches sideways, and it allows you to do these large designs like this. So as you see it stitching out, you'll see not only is it going front and back, but it's going sideways, so it's actually bringing my fabric. And I didn't have to hold on to my fabric tight or anything. I mean, I loosely held on to it, but it was stitching as it went. It was fantastic. Look at that machine go. And again, this was us just stitching out a few different designs, but how neat were these? And these were all different ones that we created in the machine. I want to show you something that I don't understand why everyone doesn't do this. If you go to the Help Center right here, this is actually the manual to your machine. So right here is a digital manual. Now you do still get the printed manual, so if you do prefer a printed manual, that's okay, but they do give you a manual on your machine, so there is no losing it. And you can go in depth about any of the subjects that you want. This is great if you want to know about a particular sewing feature on your machine or a particular embroidery feature, or if you want to just know about the machine itself to be able to troubleshoot if you have a problem or anything like that. You can now do it all in one nice hub. And the best part is all of this is searchable. So you do not have to scroll endlessly. You can actually just go to the search bar at the top and be able to type anything in that you want to search about, a particular subject that you want. And I would highly encourage you to look at the consultant area. Now, this is really cool because you can narrow down different techniques, different things that you want to know more about. You want to know more about the BISR quilting? There's a whole section that will actually give you hints, tutorials, everything like that. It's a one-stop shop for education. I mean, not a one-stop shop. Of course, you have to come back and hang out with us. Now, with the tutorials, I'm not sure if it's out yet, but it is coming. They are going to have QR codes that you can actually scan with your tablets and then follow along with your tablet as your machine's going. Now, currently, with the purchase of the B990, they are giving the luggage set free. And me and John, we went and looked at this. Now, this is really cool. This is actually to hold all of your different feet. And we were like, oh, wow, that's a lot of storage. And John's like, what is up here? And we weren't sure. I thought he had broken it. And then I realized, no, it's even more storage for more feet. How amazing is that? And that way you can travel to retreats or whatever, and it's all stored. Now, the really cool thing is not only does the bag that holds the machine have wheels on it, but the embroidery bag also has wheels on it, and it all connects together to be able to easily transport it. And those wheels are 360 wheels. I don't understand why not every machine bag comes with 360 wheels. Also, wheels on the separate embroidery unit. How amazing. That way everything glides all together seamlessly. Now, I know I probably missed something because there's so many things. I mean, a 10-inch color screen, display screen. We went over jumper stitch, the undo redo button. I didn't even show you that. That's amazing. Stitch Designer. Oh, let us know if you want us a separate video just on Stitch Designer because it is fantastic to create different stitches and custom stitches. We can stitch up to 1,200 stitches per minute. We have the amazing customizable quilt designs, customizable letters that I showed you guys. We are now Wi-Fi capable. We have the Bernina dual feed, the new stitch plate recognition. We have a gigantic extended free arm, which is 14 inches from needle to throat. We also have a very, very bright display with 90 bright LED lights where we can see what we're doing, what we're stitching. We have placement scanners and cameras. We have freehand systems. We have a pinpoint laser because yes, she has a laser, and a bunch of amazing things. And my favorite thing, which of course is the BISR, the Bernina Integrated Stitch Regulator, when I do my free motion quilting. I hope you enjoyed this quick overview of the B990. It's a very, very amazing machine, and we are so excited to get it into all of our All Brands locations. So make sure as soon as we get them, we will post on our socials that we have this machine in stock because we are excited. And if we are your local dealer, make sure that you do put in a deposit because they only have a limited amount of these as of right now. They, of course, will be coming out more, but if you want to make sure that you're one of the first people to get your hands on this machine like I am, very excited, make sure that you go ahead to your local All Brands to put in a deposit to save your spot. And we're so excited. So, Barbara, how excited are you for this new B990 Bernina?